Hello, I'm Crickets and welcome back to I Have a Story. I'd like to share this story with you so you can understand more about the struggles I'm currently having, what could possibly be playing an effect on my emotional state of mind and my physical from now the research that I'm doing, and how much this is already affecting what I'm already in an emotional state over. And my doctor knows about my struggles that I'm having with my kids, my ex, and the system, and my depression, and how severe all of it is. But is this making it worse? Now, I've talked about I'm in pain management and I get prescription pain medication. I specifically ask for Norco because anything above that makes me sick and nauseous, and while heroin derivatives like oxycodone take away the pain that I'm in better than the Norco does, the oxycodone, the side effects I get from it, there's no balance. I am so nauseous and ill and even vomiting when I take oxycodone. I don't like it. It makes me feel buzzed and lightheaded and dizzy. I don't want those side effects. There's not a balance with that. And every doctor, counselor, anybody who professionally has reviewed my files has looked at me and said, why are you only taking Norco and 5 milligram? If I take a 10 milligram Norco, it's a 50-50 chance on whether I'm going to have negative side effects. I don't look to be pain-free. I just want the edge knocked off so I can function and be accomplished in my life as much as I'm capable of being. That's the biggest positivity I have in life, is to try to make accomplishments in life and feel good about the things that I can accomplish. So my doctor will only prescribe me 2 a day. My last pain management doctor, whom I was with for many years, he gave me 3 a day, and if I ever needed more, said if you ever need more, you're only taking 5 milligram Norcos. You should be on something much stronger than this. He'd offer me more. I never had to take him up on that offer, and unfortunately my ex-wife, I had pills put away and she consumed them all in a very short period of time while breastfeeding our daughter, which is why I got out of pain management. My counselor said if you love her more than the pills, you need to get rid of the pills so she doesn't have temptation and kill herself. Boy, look at me for all I've done for trying to be a nice guy. Even more of the problems I struggle with mentally. But then let's put the kids in that person's hand. You already heard her on my channel. I've already aired the conversation. I don't take drugs and do all that stuff like I used to do. You don't know what it's like. You didn't hear me push back and go, but you did. No, I just keep my mouth shut. Try to give comfort to, oh my God, my life. I'll tell you what. So, I go in for my pain management appointment, and I didn't know this was for my drug test. We have to see it's industry standard to see your pain management doctor every 3 months. When I went in to see my pain management doctor, one of the first things they do is take your vitals. And my blood pressure was high. So the nurse said I need to sit down, close my eyes, relax. We need to get the blood pressure down so we can pass the exam. Now, one thing that I get upset with about this, there's 2 points right here that I want to point out. One, if my blood pressure's high when I go in there, then we should be getting to the point of why my blood pressure's high, which we actually did in this appointment. She said her first words were, "You're off your pain meds, right?" Well, yeah, ma'am, I've been out for 3 days. I only get 2 a day. I get my refill in 2 days, and a couple weeks ago, my lower back went out, and when my lower back goes out, I am all but paralyzed. It's one of the worst pains I get in my body. I can't move. I can't stand up. I can't lay down. I have to drop and fall, and then in order to get back up, I got to roll off and fall onto the floor in order to stand back up. Fortunately, I did just get a lift bed, and next time my lower back goes out, hopefully that'll be a great deal of help for me. And I'm going to be bringing some stories about the medical industry to try to be positive and share positive information with people about ways I've learned to cope and deal with the physical problems that I have that no doctors ever offered me. I found these out on my own, so I want to share them with you because maybe they'll help you. Another aspect about this I want to point out. Why are doctors go to straight to the higher level heroin derivatives like oxycodone? It's become like the mental industry standard to you need to take oxycodone. I had a friend who was taking oxycodone, and he asked me, he's disabled and he has medical conditions. He asked me what I take, and we were talking about our pain meds, and he said, Norco, what is that? Most people don't even know what it seems to be out of the years I've been taking it and a handful of people here and there that I talked to about it. And I told him why I don't take oxycodone, because of the side effects. And he said, yeah, I have those same side effects too. I'm going to talk to my doctor and maybe he'll switch me to Norco. He came back a short time later and said, my doctor switched me to Norco, and you're right. They're not as effective, but I don't feel sick. I don't feel buzzed. And I'd rather take the Norco and have less relief of the physical side and no symptoms of the negatives. So I really question, why don't we start at the bottom and work our way up instead of going at the top and just trying to put people on this? Another thing my doctors and people have told me is yeah, you get sick, but you'll get over it. Your body has to get adjusted to that. Well, for me, the way I view that is, if it's going to take that much for my body to get over the side effects in order for it to get relief and get rid of those side effects, then if I ever need to come off those medications, what's the side effects going to be to that? Maybe this is part of the problem with people who have these addictions to pain medications. So one of the things is I went in for that appointment, told them I hadn't taken my medication in a couple of days, that I was out, and that 2 a day is not enough for me to get through a month. And now my nurse is telling me this is the reason my blood pressure is elevated. I asked for 3 a day so that I could be balanced and get through a full day and not be on and off and on and off and on and off daily of my pain meds. All right, well, I gotta take a break. Okay, I do apologize about that. I'm back. As part of my struggles with the morning, I'm running back and forth to the bathroom all morning long. And I can't control it. I gotta go. So, talking to my doctor about trying to get myself balanced out, and one of my problems is my doctors treat me great. They are very wonderful people. But we have this mindset, and I even told the doctor, we have this mindset that with pain pills, we think about bad people. We're not here to focus on the good. And it's a real problem we have. It's a severe problem we have here where I live. Pain management doctors don't want to prescribe pain pills because they're worried about drug addicts. We need to start focusing on the people who are good and change this mindset back to we're trying to help people instead of protect the bad. I talked about my friend who had an 80-year-old father who fell, broke his back, and at 80 years old they put it right in his report. We don't want to prescribe pain meds because we don't want him to become addicted. Well, he only lived a few months longer than that, and it's a good thing that he got to spend that time in pain instead of as much comfort as doctors could have given him at 80 years old. This is a real struggle we have. So when my nurse told me that my blood pressure's high and it's likely due to my not being on my pain meds, one, I'd already told them that I was out of my pain meds for a couple of days, and I was only 2 days away from getting my pain meds refilled. My lower back went out a couple weeks prior, and it's one of the worst things that I struggle from is when my lower back goes out, and I'm going to be taking my pain meds 3 times a day, which then leaves me short. Depending on the period of time that my back is out and how long I need to take those 3 a day, I'm going to end up short at the end of the month. But they still had me take a drug test, which I knew was going to show negative for my pain meds. So they sent me a request to go in and have another drug test done. But I got my pain meds filled, went and took my drug test. I tested positive that time and passed the test. But they sent me a letter in the mail stating that I had failed twice in a row and they were dropping me. Now, I'm very fortunate that I called my doctor, and I have an app on my phone through the hospital that shows me my test results. This is another major problem I've been talking a lot about in the medical industry. It's just simple communication and being able to find people's files. So I called them and I said, wait, I have my test results. I passed. I was positive. There's a sliding scale right on the chart, shows me what I was supposed to fall in between guidelines, and I showed positive for what I was supposed to have, nothing negative in my system that I wasn't supposed to have, and I passed my test, but yet they're telling me I failed it. And I'm fortunate that he scheduled an appointment, let me go back in and see him. But then when he got in his computer and tried pulling it up, he said, no, you failed your test. I said, no, I didn't. I have an app on my phone through the hospital right here. It's a standard app. I can't even screenshot this app. It won't allow any outside interference with this app. It's directly through the hospital, and it shows I passed my test. But he got on his computer and said, no, ours came back showing you didn't pass it again. But he could not find the test results. Couldn't. He sat there and could not find the test results. Well, then I pulled it up on my app and said, look, here's my test results. I passed. Well, why did we get one that says you failed? I don't know what's going on here in our medical system. Simple communication, at least by 2026, should be perfected. I mean, it's simple communication. But then I went a week without being able to get my script refilled again because they were claiming that I failed. I had to wait to get in to see my doctor, then prove my case, and thank God he agreed and put me back on my meds. But I had to deal with all that mentally, physically, and then what else is all this doing to me mentally and physically? If you go off your pain medications, particularly opioids, which is what I'm on, it can cause high blood pressure, elevated heart rate, and other withdrawal symptoms. Anxiety, sweating, insomnia, tremors. This is not good for me physically. You can see on your screen, I can't read all this, and I can only pick out bits and pieces of it, but you can see on the screen what this causes. Having high blood pressure in itself increases rates of anxiety, depression, chronic stress, mood swings, and fatigue, all of which I normally experience without the medication causing these problems to me to begin with. So when I already have all of these other symptoms to begin with depression, my anxiety, physical pain, why is my doctor going to make me go through that every single day? Here, take one on one segment, one on another, and then spend another segment of your day without. And what is that doing to me? I'll put this on the screen. Hopefully you can read it. But it also talks about cognitive and emotional changes. Uncontrolled high blood pressure, which they don't give me any blood pressure pills for. I don't get any medication for blood pressure. I just get to go through this on a daily basis, up and down like a roller coaster. And I asked, can I get 3 so I can be balanced? He told me, no, I want to keep you on 2. Well, is that safe? I'm really questioning now, doing the research after even when I went to the hospital to take my second drug test, and the nurse there even said, your blood pressure's high. She looked at my charts, looked at my notes. Why are you only on Norco? Why are you only taking 2 a day? Well, I take Norco because that's what works for me without the side effects, and I only take 2 a day because that's all my doctor will give me. And even she was like, this doesn't make sense. This isn't right. And she even said this can cause these problems that I'm having. It can even cause heart attack, heart disease, damage to coronary arteries, heart failure, a bulge in the body's main artery. I mean, this is all really, really bad side effects over 1 extra pill a day to balance my life out. Now, even in that same appointment with my doctor, I keep him updated on the progress I make in life because it makes me feel positive to share something positive and to let him know that I'm an active person. I don't just sit around and go, I can't, ow, I hurt, oh, I know that's going to hurt, I can't go do that. I get up every day and do something. I talked to him about some of the things that I've been accomplishing, and he told me I should be a motivative speaker for people who have disabilities and are struggling with physical ailments. Well, then help me do that, doctor, and make my life even better, please. It even can affect the brain and nervous system, having high blood pressure, chronic kidney disease, damage to vessels in the eyes, and can cause blurred vision and blindness, which I'm already legally blind, and I already have nerve damage that causes my vision to go in and out, and I have blackouts on a regular basis, and my vision changes all the time. How much are these pills adding to the chronic illnesses I already have if I cannot maintain a balance on them? And then I'm really struggling with how our doctors cannot communicate. Simple communication. I'll link in at the end of this my medical folder with the different medical aspects of people, myself and other people around me, and what they're dealing with. How is communication so difficult in today's age of technology? How is it our paperwork keeps coming up missing, and doctors cannot find our files and cannot access our medical files? And I'm supposed to trust these people to make proper decisions on my health when this right here even looks like a negative impact on my health, because we're not, from what I see, what I feel, what even doctors and other people have told me, I'm not being treated appropriately. So if you want to understand more of what possibly is causing my mental state and depression, this very likely could add to it.